Welcome YouTubers, welcome to GTA5. This is the Pacific Heist, this is the final heist, and in this time we're going to actually do this with a police car, or escaping a police car instead of on the bike. So I'm going to show you how to do that. It's kind of a hit and miss. You know, we tried a couple times. The first time it worked, and this time it actually worked pretty well. The second time I tried with a bunch of randoms and it didn't work as well. So it's all going to depend how good your team is. If you've got a solid team, then it shouldn't be a problem. This, to me, I prefer the bikes myself, but when we did this one, to me, I actually prefer escaping the police car now, right? So I think this is definitely a better way to go, especially if you've got any weak drivers. You can get them all into one car. You don't get spammed by the cops. A lot of people still don't understand that, you know, if they take off on the bike, everyone behind them gets spammed by cops. It's pretty obvious, but people just don't get it or agree with it. So, you know, they think they're good riders, and they probably are, but, you know, for everyone else, they just get spammed, right? So, and they get upset. So this way you can get them all in one car, and then you can have 3 people, or at least 2 people, firing at the cops while you do this, right? So pretty much the same as before. We just knocked out the cops. You don't actually have to shoot them. You can just hit them on the back of the head. And then you go in and you do the regular stuff. So I'm not going to go over this. I do have a couple of videos on talking about this, and I'm sure there's tons of videos on YouTube. But you know, just make sure that you don't shoot any hostages. You make sure that, you know, you guys are all on mics. If you're not on mics, just don't even bother doing it, right? You know, you really need some good players and people on mics that actually communicate and are willing to listen to the heist leader, right? And if they're not, then you might as well just end the heist, right? So you want to jump one of the crowd control in the second room. You go to the back of the room and you shoot up the stairs. You can control the cops that way. One guy takes all the money. You know, so your best rider or the heist leader, pretty much in most cases, will take all the money. That way only one person gets hit, loses the money, right? So, you know, that's really the strategy that people should use going forward. And then the rest is pretty straightforward, right? You come out to the main doors, you take out all the cops before the leader comes out with the money. That way you just maintain the most money, right? You know, you shoot all the cop cars. Don't try and run it, because you just won't get through it, right? And then you can choose whether you want to jump over the top wall, or you want to jump over the bottom wall. In this case, we actually jumped over the bottom wall, and this run we managed to keep 1.25 million all the way to the bikes. And it was only at the bikes that we started losing some money when the helicopters and the police showed up. So, pretty good strategy going forward in order to maintain the most money. So I'm not going to talk. I'll talk a little bit once we come out the main doors. as mentioned earlier, we're going to basically take out the cops from right to left. One guy takes out the ones on the right, the other guy takes the ones on the left. Just take out everyone you can here. You can't actually get into these police cars, which we tested recently. So I don't know, at some point maybe they lost themselves, but you can't actually escape in a police car. But take out all these cop cars, but shoot all the police. So don't let any of these red dots, any of the police dots actually remain. Take out all the cops before the guy with the money comes out the door. And that way you can maximize your money, right? And then he stays behind and just make sure that he doesn't get shot. Don't stay in the alley too long because the cops do come up behind you and then start shooting you. You want to have the heist leader sort of hide you with the money. As you'll see, he'll be hiding left behind his barrel. And then someone should be looking behind us, make sure that you know, we're not getting shot. So move fairly quickly through the alley. Best is just to take out all these cop cars, you know, do all the work. Because, you know, if you jump on the wall, you lose money as well. So if you can actually just get over the bottom wall, which is, you'll notice the heist leader will actually do while we're taking out the cop cars, then that's probably the best strategy, right? So take out all these guys. You don't actually have to wait for everyone, but you know, take out the helicopters. You know, there's a heist leader in the yellow here, just ran behind the barrel to the right here. He shouldn't really be shooting, but you know, it's pretty okay. If everyone else is shooting, then chances are you won't get shot, right? So one guy's behind us, making sure we don't get shot from behind, and as you go, he's going to go there. So in this case, we actually jump over the lower wall, so we don't actually take too much damage, or at least he doesn't take damage. Just remember, the guy with the money is the only one that can lose money, so if the rest of you get hit, it's not a big deal. Just make sure you maintain your health, make sure you clear your markers. There is a yellow marker just where we were running there. Make sure you all clear your markers, otherwise you'll be out of bounds. So very important. So one guy takes out the helicopter, so I'm just going to take out the helicopter here, and then we'll take out the cop cars, but we'll keep moving fairly quickly. We don't want to stick around too long. You'll notice we still have all the money at this point. Just keep on moving, and then we'll take out this cop car in front of us. That'll show up here. You know, the heist leader, he's staying to the left there, which is good. You know, he's trying to not get hit by anyone. Okay, take out the cops, and then we go for the bike. Sometimes there is there are police spawning right by the bike, so just keep an eye out for that. So the guy without the money should be probably going in there first. In this case, we didn't see any cops here, so we're pretty good. Everyone jumps on the bike, and as you can see, we maintain full money at this point. So just as we're gonna leave the complex, so we're gonna just go out the gate, and you're gonna wait. So two cop cars or 3 cop cars will show up. You want to take out all those guys, and then what we'll do is we will jump in a police car right after that. Some guy, you take your best driver rather, and let him drive the car, but be prepared to actually mark where you actually want to go. You want to go down to the beach along the left side of the map. So make sure that whoever's driving knows that, because you know, the second time we did it, they sort of messed up and we went in a different direction, right? So just make sure that's communicated. They kind of know where you want to go or what is needed. Let's just take out all these cop cars. You'll notice the heist leader is hiding, so he doesn't get hit. But there's a whole bunch of helicopters that we should probably be taking out here. Okay, so as you can see, we just lost some money, but it's not too bad. It's only about 5 grand, which wasn't too bad actually. And you kind of just want to head down south. I'm going to just mark the map here. Just mark somewhere on the left side of the map so you kind of know the general direction. And as we get closer, we'll mark it at the boats itself. You know, just kind of go south. The leader can actually push A to duck down so that he doesn't get hit any further. So that's another strategy. You can just kind of keep low key. You might want to put him in the back of the car. Just again, it may be better in the back, so you know, when you run into people, you don't get actually shot up, right? So we did lose some money on the way here. You'll notice as we go through all of this, there's loads of cops. There's going to be some loose vans on the highway that you're going to have to kind of go around. So just kind of be prepared for that. You know, don't stop. Don't try and crash into them. Obviously, if you can avoid it, just kind of avoid any sort of contact with them at all. If the leader with the money loses any armor, then you lose money, right? So that's pretty much it, right? So, and then we're gonna head towards the boats, and just after the main bridge there that we cross, we'll head up the mountain. They'll just allow us to avoid some cops, and then you'll notice some police boats sharp in the water, right? So kind of just avoid those guys as well if you can. but you know, we are getting spammed by cops all over the place here, right? So you know, it is a little bit more risky to take a police car, but you know, you can actually make it work. I mean, we actually walked away with 1.2 million, yeah. And we hit a lot of cops along the way, so that's not bad. I mean, we ran into all sorts of cops, news vans, helicopters, and we still managed to walk away with 1.2 million. So if you have a good crew and they're all listening, and you have a good driver, and you don't, you know, again, even if you have a good driver, you can still run into a roadblock and get stuck. I mean, it's not really, just don't have a terrible driver, I guess, but I mean, it can happen. So I mean, if you have a successful run, then yeah, you can actually walk away with about 1.2 million, only losing 50. That's not a bad take at all, you know, by any means, right? Because you know, sometimes you can make a little bit more than that. Maybe we could figure out a route over these mountains, and we could lessen that as well, right? It'll take us longer, but I mean, you know, you are on a time limit, so going over the mountains probably not an option at this stage, because you simply don't have the time. If there was no time limit, then you could probably take your time and, you know, go there, right? But you may even be able to get over the mountains with the time. As you can see ahead, we've got two news vans, just in the middle of the road there, and we're going to see a couple more in the distance, in front of us again. They're pretty much blocking the highways all the way to the boat. Just kind of make sure you know where you're going. Try not to crash into any cars. As you can see, they're pretty aggressive here on the roads. They would lose a little bit more money, just, you know, if we avoided. If you could avoid a hit that cop there that ran in front of us, then you know we would have lost all that money. But that's fine. I mean, again, you know, anything more than I think 1.1 is pretty good taking. I wouldn't do it for less than $1 million. Yeah, you want to at least walk away with at least $1 million. If you're not, then I'll just restart it. Just start it from the beginning and do it again. Try again, test it, see what works. Maybe map out a route that you think might be a little bit more feasible. And just go directly to the boat. So as you can see, going through this tunnel is pretty dangerous, especially if you get spammed by cops, right? Because things would probably go horribly wrong in that tunnel. So we're gonna actually head up the mountain here in a second, yeah, and continue the once we're at that main bridge, then you know you can basically just go up the mountain. It'll just avoid some additional cops. Just make sure you don't roll or do too many crazy things. To get the heist leader damaged, right? Because he'll lose money. And that's pretty much it. So thank you for watching. I hope this helped you. I was quite impressed by driving the police car. I'd certainly want to try it again and see if we can actually do it again successfully. You know, once you got people that are willing to listen. But yeah, it's definitely a different strategy that people can use. If you've got weak cyclists, or if you simply just don't want to drive a bike and do something different, mix it up, this is a good way to try it. Thanks for watching, and please hit that invite button, and please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you.
Creek. was the